There's basically three routes you can go with dust collection. One way is to use plywood and develop this homemade system, which is bulky and also requires a fair amount of woodworking just to, in time and materials to build it and cost, and it's bulky. The second method is to purchase one of these shrouds, which folds up somewhat like an umbrella. They're said to be effective, but they can cost between $160 and $180. Finally, the technique that I'm going to talk about, and one that I like the best, uses this stretchy web-like material similar to spandex, and it stretches with the saw as you move it. And I think it's best in terms of cost, time to assemble it, and overall effectiveness, since you catch everything at the source where your chop back hooks up. I should mention that this is not my original conception, but I saw it on a device called a dust shooter. That's dust, C-H-U-T-E-R, and you can view a video demo of that on the web. The problem with that is that it seems to have been discontinued, or they're out of business. So I will show you how I do it for almost no money or time. I'm using this stretchable book cover material, 10.5 by 11.5 inches, that I got at Target for $1. And you can see how well it stretches. And it has slots for your book cover here, which makes it a double thickness, which is good for wear. And let's take a closer look at how I have it mounted on here. When it's in the all the way pushed back position, you want it to be so it just has probably minimal tension, but enough that the material won't bunch up and get caught in the saw, which is a pretty tight fit, as you can see there. On the back, I have placed these into the existing slots of the saw, held them in with a dowel rod, and back here I have a piece of PVC jammed into this gap between the metal and the metal. And if you have a problem with sagging where it might get in contact with the saw blade, you could put another string back here and hang a small weight on the end of it to pull this out. One way to go about it is, if you don't want to make any permanent modifications to your saw, is to just take a piece of dowel that's rounded on the corner so it's less likely to tear the material. Put it in this hinge spring hole and stretch the material so that it fits over there. But to improve on that a little bit, we want to have a slightly negative angle for better dust coverage. So I'm going to show you how to attach to here. And I'm going to attach using these transparent plastic hooks you can get at Walmart for $2 or $3. It comes with 6 packs of these, like I said, transparent hooks. You can see closer there. And it comes with these adhesive, and as simple as it may sound to attach plastic hooks, it's well worth it to read the instructions, because the tape has it's a two-sided tape that has 2 different kinds of material for adhesive. There's a blue side and a black side, and one side is used to attach to the hook and one side is used to attach to the material. And you should also, when you apply it, press it firmly and hold it for at least 30 seconds. So a few seconds reading the instructions will save you big benefits later on. And I took a permanent magic marker after it's applied and put some small dots so I know exactly where to put it again in the event that it pulls loose, or if I decide to mount it permanently with epoxy. And here's a close-up of the dowel that I used on the back of the saw that fits into the existing saw slots. It just happens to be painted white, and get one that fits, and just using a friction pressure fitting, it'll stay tight there. 2 laws of dust collection, which I invented just now. One of them is you want to suck up the dust as close to the source as possible, and you can't get too much closer than that. And the only parts that are needed are this stretchable book cover material that you can get in the school supplies section at Target for $1. This says it fits books 10.5 inches to 11.5 inches. And then I use this 3M hooks that are attached with supplied adhesive pads. You see there. And finally, for safety purposes, you should not use any connection points or hooks that are metal, because if they were to stretch and come loose and throw it into the blade, it could be a hazard of metal shrapnel being thrown around, in addition to ruining your $60 blade. So here's another 360-degree view of the thing. It slides away from the blade while keeping it close to the suction point. There's where the hook holds the stretchy material. And there's the dowels and the PVC in the back. And again, I'm using jumbo stretchable book cover. It's size 10.5 by 11.5 inch max. You can get this at Target for $1 in the school supplies section. And I use these plastic hooks for hanging things on the wall to attach to the sliding part of the saw. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Click the like button and the subscribe button